One. Hello, everyone,
and welcome to the writing class.
Yes, well done.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was, I don't know why I'm so excited about the fact that she said like what the writers, like 3 words. I'm like, woo. I don't know what that's about.
Well, you just feel like giving me congratulations, and I will graciously accept them. I'm Jade.
I will know. I think it's because I don't know if y'all can see it, but she has blue hair.
Yes. I decided at the end of 2021, going into 2022, I'm gonna try something different, and not fully blue hair, y'all. Just at the ombre, just at the end, not fully blue.
Her hair
and I chopped it.
Her lips.
Oh. And I chopped it.
I don't have nothing to say about that. Anyway, we wrote books.
We wrote literary life guides with pop poetry, and let's say some of them. And I thought divorce was bad with other life lessons, and I thought being grown up was easy. If only I would meet a memoir. But
keep going.
Why? You know I was on a roll. What if that? Well, that's not a literary life guide, y'all. That's just a genre book. And then going coffee. Yeah, you can get those when you get your audiobooks. And let's see. And you can find out my favorite book and where to get it. And where all your ladies things are at www.andithoughladies.com. But y'all aren't here to hear about us.
You're here to hear from our wonderful guests.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Serena Agusto Cox. I'm a poet, a mother, a wife, and a number of other things. And like most people, I need a lot of coffee in the morning.
Oh, yes.
Oh, nice. Yes. I'm allergic to coffee. Every time people say that, I'm like, can you remind me what that used to feel like? That it like just wakes you up, right?
Yeah, and I get up at 4:30 in the morning every day, so I need coffee. Why? Because I work early hours.
I thought you were gonna say to write as the sun came up.
That's a romantic hour.
I wish. That's the dream.
So with all the hats that you wear, how do you find time for your writing?
Usually it's in between things. So my daughter does swim practice, and when she's at practice, I'm trying to write in the car while waiting. That's about an hour every 2 to 3 days a week. And then sometimes it's between things at work. Like if I'm waiting on someone to finish something, I'll be like, well, it's my time to write right now. Shh, don't tell the boss. And and it's, if it's late at night, sometimes the muse wakes me up at 2 a.m. and I have to write it down and then go back to sleep for 2 hours before I have to get up. So it's whenever it happens.
That is wonderful. Like, I don't think I would be able to do that.
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours.
I would be angry. I'd be angry.
Okay, I call myself the tired lady.
Yes, absolutely.
I agree. How did you get started writing in the first place?
So when did that muse hit you?
I was pretty young. My grandmother had a typewriter, and if I was super energetic and she was like, okay, I need to do some housework, you need to sit down. Here's the typewriter, just write whatever. And that's pretty much when I started. I think I was like 10, maybe 11. And that's when I started writing seriously. And I was writing short stories at that time. I didn't start writing poetry until probably maybe a couple of years after that.
Wow, most people go the other way around. I'm impressed here.
Yeah, that's impressive. So what is a poetry book tour?
Poetry Book Tours is a boutique business I started. A lot of people go to bloggers for reviews of fiction and nonfiction and that kind of thing, but there really wasn't one for poets. And I know poets, they don't make a lot of money, so I try to keep it at a minimum. It's more of a passion project for me. I want poetry to be out in the world, reach more readers, because I really don't think it's as hard as people think it is. I think when we were taught at a young age that it was super difficult to understand, that was the wrong way to teach people. Because it really isn't, and it doesn't have to be. And there's all kinds of poetry, just like there's all kinds of fiction. There's science fiction poetry, there's fantasy poetry, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you could be reading.
Absolutely.
You are an editor of what, Savvy Verse Writing?
Savvy Verse and Wit is the original blog I started. That was before Poetic Book Tours, and I started by reviewing poetry books. And then I gradually branched out into fiction, some other things, and kids' books as I had a child and, that kind of thing. That is a beast of its own.
The child of the blog. No, I'm joking.
The blog. In the book. do you think one can become a successful poet?
I think it's probably very difficult. It just depends on what what you want success to be. So if you're looking to make a lot of money, then you need to be Billy Collins and write some poems that are super easy for everyone to understand, and just, find some big publisher to promote it for you, because if you're promoting stuff yourself, it's harder. But if you think just success is just reaching your local audience, or just having a base that loves your poetry and buys your books on a regular basis and don't really care so much about the money and more about the writing and the art, then I think that's success also. So it really just depends on what you're looking for.
Interesting.
I like that.
So what would you tell new poets or new people that are trying to like publish their works and get out here? What 3 things that you would tell them to do?
The first thing I would say is write your poem, put it away, look at it again and see if you need to tweak it, because when you write it the first time, it's just your basic raw material, and sometimes your raw material is not your best material. And there could be a better word for something that you chose to write that fits better and things like that, and then do the editing process. Then what I've been doing is I keep a spreadsheet of all the places I've sent the poems. Always pick places that take simultaneous submissions, because you don't want to be waiting around 6, 8, 10, 12 months for someone to get back to you. It's just, that's not a way to keep your art locked up. It's just not fun. Like, I've had poems at the New Yorker for a year now, and they have still not responded.
Wow.
Yeah, so that would be my second one, is always simultaneously submit to magazines that accept those, which a lot of them do. And then third, just be, always writing and submitting. Like, don't quit just because you get a rejection. Just get the rejection, send it to somewhere else, because it just might not be the judge, whoever the editor's mood is at that moment.
Exactly.
Fabulous.
Wow.
Fabulous. Where can people find out more about you and read about your blog and
read some of the poetry in
Yes.
your poetry book, correct?
Yes.
I have several anthologies I'm in lately. The first one I was in was called Love is Love. It's an LGBTQ teen book. And anytime anyone buys a copy of that, proceeds go to the Trevor Project for suicide for LGBTQ teens. The most 2 recent anthologies I've been in is one is called This Is What America Looks Like. It's a bunch of DC, Virginia, and Maryland poets. And it's basically a response to their call of what does America look like? And there's a wide range of responses in this book. It's so good. Not including mine, but mine is good, but not, there's some really spectacular stuff in there, and there's fiction and poetry. So it's got something for everybody. And then the third anthology will be coming out in March, and that's called The Great World of Days. And it's actually an anthology from the Bourgeon magazine. So it's about, I believe it's 5 or 6 years of their poets in the one anthology. It's got some really great poets in there. I'm currently working on another chapbook. I have one chapbook that's been rejected about 5 times, but it's still being sent out. So, it's going, it's just slow going. And if you want to catch my poetry, I have a whole publications page on savvyverseandwit.com, and you can check that out anytime.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. It's
Thank you for having.
It's always a pleasure having like another poet in the house.
I just want to say, do you recognize, like, when we do other poets, we have a very professional interview?
I know. Well, because
like every other genre, we're like, oh, this is hilarious. And it's like poets, we're like, no, we have questions.
We have questions. Maybe we could get answers. Who knows?
Oh, I feel bad because I just remember one of the questions I wanted.
Yes, well, we're not. Well, we can just unprofessional.
Just ask.
There we go. Ask.
There we go. We can wrap it right back around. So, you're on the Gaithersburg Book Festival. What did you do for them? And then there was something else, and I'm hoping I remember my other part of my question.
But she's not.
The Gaithersburg Book Festival is a local Maryland festival, and I'm on the committee that deals with the poetry contest for teens. So anyone in grades 9 through 12 can enter in the DMV area, and they submit one poem, and then one judge will select the winner at the end, but 12 finalists will be selected before that. And then I also help with the poetry panels. So people who have poetry books that are coming out between, I think it's June of 2021 through March 2022, they can get in contact with me. You can find my contact information on Savvy Verse and Wit, and mail me a copy of the book, and then I'll get it in rotation, and then we select panels in the next few months, actually. So
wait, I didn't know that.
So
Harry this up. We need to send her a copy of the book.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, no, sure. We'll just pull a book out of our hat. Like, hold on. Here's one. Here's one.
Yeah, that one will work. You also do reviews of, you did reviews of poetry on your blog. How do you do a review of a poem?
It's very subjective. I always tell people that there's poetry that works for me more than others, and so I'll let you know, maybe this isn't for me, but it might be for you. Like, I tend not to prefer like Hallmark greeting card poetry that rhymes a whole lot. I'm not big on that, but some people really like that, and I'll just let you know that this has a lot of rhyme. It's very, very feel good, which is good for some people. Maybe that's what they're looking for. It's fine. It just doesn't work for me. So I try to give it a I don't like it, but this is why I don't like it, but this is why you might like it kind of thing.
Wow, nice. That's amazing. Okay, so one more time.
Take that book back.
Yes, we're gonna take that book
right back.
Put it here. There it is. So one more time, where can people find out more about you? What's your website? It's
www.savvyverseandwit.com.
And if they wanted to follow you online, do you want to throw social media?
On Twitter, it's Savvy Verse Wit. And Facebook is just my name, Serena Agusto Cox. You can find me. Simple.
It's fabulous. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I said that 2 times today, so yay! We really wanted you on the show.
Well, thank you.
And I'll just go ahead and wrap us up.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, all right. So you can find out everything your ladies are doing on www.andithoughtLadies.com. While you're there, take a moment, go to the middle of the page and see the charities that we probably support. Maybe if you would like to support them also, we thank you in advance for that. And just remember, y'all, wisdom is all around you if
you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys, from Will Nona
and Jade. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, thanks for listening.